The pursuit of speed has always been a focus of human technological development. By crossbreeding superior horses, riding speed was increased, and the use of complex sail systems allowed sailing ships to ride the wind and waves. With the advent of the internal combustion engine, the speed of motor vehicles had already easily surpassed 100 km per hour. However, this was not enough for some people. After World War II, many attempted to use jet engines as the power source for vehicles, and the Soviet GAZ-TR was a particularly special attempt. One of the purposes of building the GAZ-TR was to achieve a maximum speed of 700 km per hour. This speed did not have much practical significance, it was purely for the purpose of breaking records. The project began in 1952, with Smolin and Lipgart as the project leaders. Smolin, who had experience in aircraft design, hoped to use aviation technology to build the GAZ-TR. The GAZ-TR not only utilized aircraft design technology, but also directly used many components from fighter jets. The car had an aerodynamic shape similar to a fighter jet, with a single-person cockpit and a body surface covered with hard aluminum panels. The car weighed approximately 1,600 kilograms. The car's engine was a jet engine used in the MiG-17 fighter jet, and the vehicle relied on the thrust of the engine to move forward. The engine intake was located on both sides of the vehicle, and because it did not require as much air intake, the intake size was relatively smaller than that of a fighter jet, with a mesh guard at the intake. High-speed travel not only requires an aerodynamic shape, but also requires stabilizing fins like those on an aircraft. The GAZ-TR had small wing surfaces behind the intake on both sides of the vehicle and above the rear of the car. The designer, Smolin, referred to them as fins. Like a regular car, the GAZ-TR had four-wheel drive, with each wheel having independent suspension and the front wheels being steerable. Its wheel technology was derived from the MiG-15 fighter jet. The jet's wheels were different from those of a car, as they could withstand the short-term acceleration and landing impact of a fighter jet, but could not handle the prolonged slow-speed travel of a vehicle. Therefore, the GAZ-TR's wheels were specially made of reinforced rubber material. The driver's cockpit was similar to that of the MiG-17 fighter jet, with no side-opening doors. The driver did not have to wear specialized flight suits like a pilot, but the powerful force of the jet engine was still not something an ordinary vehicle driver could withstand. The prototype was completed in 1954 and tested in the fall. The renowned racing driver M. Mijelo became the first driver. Due to the lack of dedicated high-speed lanes and high-speed tires, the driver had to drive on the airport runway. Its speed fell far short of the expected maximum speed, and it was even suggested not to exceed 300 km per hour. However, it is believed that if there were a sufficiently long and straight runway, it should be able to achieve a more satisfactory speed, surpassing high-speed trains. There were accidents during testing, and the driver sustained minor injuries. After the testing accident, work on the GAZ-TR project was basically halted. Due to the lack of official departments and related infrastructure needed for the development of high-speed cars in the Soviet Union at that time, the project was officially terminated in 1957, with the only prototype being dismantled. It is said that a small number of parts were preserved.